What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves. There were some really good ones on here.
The neighbour one.
Yeah, some really good ones. A lot I could relate to, funny enough, but some really good ones on there. But they always are. They're juicy, aren't they?
We're all hating on our neighbours.
Well, yeah, because it's difficult to live around people. That's why I just need a 5-acre plot and my house.
That's all I need.
And my house in the middle of that, away from civilization, would be perfect.
Don't need much.
That would be amazing. Nice little bungalow.
Just a little bungalow in the
Where I can
middle of
keep-
nowhere.
Where I can keep chickens, more cats and dogs. Done. I feel like that is not asking a lot of
No.
anybody.
I just want a cow.
Just
And
one
a duck.
cow.
Cow and a duck.
Cows apparently like dogs.
Oh, I'd love a cow.
Unless it gets angry and then it will kill you. Really easily.
Well, I've been told that you can't have just one cow
Why?
because they're social, so they need
Yeah,
to
be social with you.
need more than one.
Okay, so you've got to get 2 cows.
2 cows. But that's why I was getting the duck.
To be social with the cow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Straight in. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Hello everyone and welcome to Middle Aged Opinion. I'm your host Ellie.
And I'm your host, Emily. I nearly forgot my name then. And
I am.
And today we are going to look at Neighbours from Hell.
Yes. And we know that 99% of the population knows exactly what this means.
Yep. We've all had one at least once in our lives.
Yeah.
Experienced it, been it.
Living through it.
Living through it currently.
Yeah.
We know what this is.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like everybody can relate unless you're super rich and you've never had to deal with it.
What, with a neighbour?
Well, you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't.
Oh, those pesky helicopters going over my house.
Yeah,
again.
yeah, maybe that's your biggest problem.
Yeah.
And if so, can I have a 5-acre plot of land with a 1-bedroom bungalow in the middle
Oh,
of it, please?
those damn deer keep coming on the yard.
Oh, the yard, darling. The yard. Right.
Yeah.
Straight into it.
Right.
Go on.
Tell
Tell us what your problems are.
Hold on.
Are yours all over the place?
No, there's just constantly errors on my
Reddit.
there we are.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
How many did you save?
I don't know, I got a bit carried away at this one.
Fucking hell. It's like 35
There's
if anyone's
quite a lot,
wondering.
actually, I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
I did get carried away.
How do you choose your best then?
I know which ones are my best ones.
Okay.
'Cause I read them.
I read them all.
I've got a rash on my neck, but it's like,
You have. Do you know what from?
no.
Maybe
Came
you're
up
allergic to
every
the
day.
bird.
Came up at work on Friday, or it certainly was irritated on Friday.
You're going to have to put some lotion on it. He puts the lotion in the basket. Just to stop it itching.
Oh my goshness. Oh, I'm going to start with a really triggering one.
Go!
Okay, neighbour's daughter hitting and kicking puppy.
Oh, mate. Oh.
Yeah, let's upset everybody straight off.
Normally that's me that finds the
Yeah.
animal abuse. It's you tonight.
Yeah. We've really swapped roles
I
here.
know. I told you. I don't know what's happening.
I'm like, fuck everything.
yeah. And I'm like,
God.
oh, don't be like that. Go on.
A family in our neighbourhood recently got a new puppy. To give a little backstory, the family had a cat, but the dad hated cats. He hated cats so much that he would put the cat in the washing machine. Fast forward a few months after getting the cat, the family rehomed it.
Did it a favour.
This past winter, they decided to get a dog. That dog mysteriously died 2 days after they brought it home. It's unclear what happened to the dog. The oldest daughter told my daughter, who was 11, that the dog died from a illness and didn't say anything more about it. About 2 months ago, they came home with a new puppy. The
Ah.
oldest daughter, who is 8 years old, has been kicking it in the body and head, swinging it around from the leash by its neck. There are numerous videos, recordings from several neighbours because the daughter will do this out in the open. After calling animal control, the dispatcher sent the call to the local police department. The police came and talked to the family, who denied that their child did anything wrong. Mind you, the family knows she is doing this. They have cameras as well, and she does this right in front of their living room window. What more needs to happen, or is it just a waiting game until they do it again? These are not good people.
So another call needs to go in, and the evidence needs to be shown to the police or animal control, whatever it is there in America.
Innit?
Or you need to get a mate, put balaclavas on, wait till the daughter's out next with the puppy, steal the puppy and rehome the puppy. It's fucking devastating. I cannot abide by people that hurt helpless animals. I can't, honestly. It's so upsetting. I don't even know what to say on it. It's really
awful,
upsetting,
isn't it?
I just don't understand it. I can't comprehend it.
Do you know when young children are just rough-handed with animals?
Yeah, but you tell them straight.
But you have that adult that goes, no, that's not what you do.
Yeah.
It just this isn't happening here.
Yeah, straight away. Straight away.
Yeah. So the top comment was, didn't anyone show the police the video of her doing that? That little girl is a serial killer in the making.
Well, they are.
If I saw this, I would immediately take the dog, regardless of the consequences, to myself.
There you go.
What kind of neighbourhood do you live in if no one has stepped in to stop this as it's happening? Do more to stop this. That was in capitals.
Send your daughter out to beat the shit out of her.
Everything to the police and animal control. Get everyone's attention. And there's also an edit. This is for your very first post, and I've had enough experience online to believe that this horrific story may be fake. Oh, okay.
Okay, go on. Let's. OP's written.
OP writ and said, when I spoke with the police, they had no interest in seeing the video and stated that because she is 8 years old, there wasn't much they could do besides go and talk to them. They never have the dog off leash. The little girl lets it out, treats it horrible and goes back inside. The neighbour beside them told the girl to stop, and she stuck her tongue out at them and ran inside. They then brought it to the parents' attention, and the dad called them little bitches and to mind their own business. Another neighbour has reached out to another officer who is more experienced, in hopes that he will be able to do more. I agree, though, a complete serial killer in the making.
Yeah, so you said your daughter's 11. She's a minor. Send her out. Next time she hits the dog, send your daughter out. Get your daughter to beat the shit out of this little girl, right? And tell her that's because you keep hitting the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people like take the dog away, get the dog out of there by any means possible.
It's what I'm saying. It's so upsetting that I don't even know what to say, babe. Like, it's a puppy. It's probably gonna die.
Yeah, it's clearly taken on a lot of trauma, probably physically as well as
the other dog
mentally.
mysteriously died. The fucking cat in the washing machine. I can't, like, honestly. There should be like a list of people that are like, either get rid of their animal because their animal's too much, you shouldn't be allowed another one. Abusive to your animal, shouldn't be allowed another one. And there should be a list.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And you run like a fucking police thing, and then you go somewhere for a pet, and then your name is flagged, and it's like, sorry, you're incapable of owning an animal. That's how it should be everywhere in the world. Ready? Fucking, I can't. It just, honestly, my neighbour called the cops on me. I was beating up a dog.
You beat up a dog.
My neighbour in the same apartment building had a package delivered to them that was mine, but they didn't answer my text when I asked if they were home. I really needed it for the next day, so I decided at 10:30 that was not late enough to not ring the
I agree.
I really needed it for the next day, so I decided that 10:30 was not late enough to not ring the bell and see if they were home. They didn't open the door, but the next day I read a response text that said that they were frightened and had called the police. Apparently, they sat in their house for an hour in fear that someone was trying to break into their home, making each other scared for some breaking and entering situation that never happened. Then decided to call and warn the police because they thought that apparently needed to calm them down. Why? I have no clue. I only rung the doorbell once. I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. It was just a misunderstanding, but they were very angry now and they can't stop talking about it. I think they're acting ridiculous. I only rung their bell a single time and then left a bit later. How do I deal with people that are incredibly paranoid? This makes no sense to me at all. I already apologise, but they won't let it go. Do you want the update?
Did he even get his parcel?
Oh, it's in the update, I think.
Go on.
They did. Update. After a lot of fuss about not ringing their bell after 9 p.m, they gave it back. So there you go. They just got it back. But I told them to never take in my packages again in the future because I work late, and rather than it taking someone else to pick it up and drop it off, I'd rather have someone take it and put it in a drop-off point if they are that paranoid. I don't really want to be associated with them anymore, so I'm going to avoid them in the future. I don't really like people who have no chill and call the cops over nothing.
But it's a bit nuts, isn't it?
It sounds like they're up to something and they're expecting someone to come and do something to them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It feels very weird.
But it's also bizarre that they are actually still up and they didn't respond to his text.
Just can't get it now, we're in bed, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Or
we'll leave it on your doorstep in the morning before we go work.
Or take 30 seconds to say, I'll just leave it on my front porch and then it will be there.
Very bizarre.
Very weird behaviour.
No need for this.
And then top comment says, tell them to call the cops again. You can all discuss the packages that are stolen from you. You will press charges if not returned. So they did hold. So after, I'm assuming what happened after all of that was they held the package hostage until they agreed on a time where it's fucking weird. It's so weird. Although
Yeah.
I will tell you a story. So I took in a package for my, not upstairs above me, but the ones across.
Yeah.
I took a package in for her and then went out for whatever I was out for, which doesn't happen a lot, let's be honest. A lot of the time I'm in, but I was out. Anyway, she had obviously knocked on my door and I wasn't in. So then she went to Sue, and then Sue went to Linda, and then next thing you know, Sue then comes into mine, comes into mine, Paul's freaking out. Sue's going through my house looking for this package, which would be anywhere else but the front door. Why would it be anywhere else but down at the front door where I'd taken it in? Everybody knows I don't use my front door, right? So she's going everywhere looking for this package. Paul apparently in this time has come out of the cabin and gone, what is going on? And she's like, I'm looking for a package, because that's fucking Sue. Anyway, she's gone and told Linda. Linda's then rung me. I was on my bike ride. That was it. It was on a bike ride. Linda's rung me, where's this package? And obviously I'm like, who gives a fuck where the fucking package is? I'm out. Tough fucking, she needs it now. Does that feel like my problem to you? I'm out. But of course, because it's Linda, I'm like, it's by the front door, babe. Please, like, go and get it. She gets it. And then I said, that's it. I will never take another fucking thing in for her. Ever in my life. So anyway, sorry. That took a turn. But yeah, sorry, did I read the top comment? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, it's over to you. That's a fucking whoosh.
Okay, neighbour wants to fight me.
It's not me. Yet.
Neighbour wants to fight me over fake dog poo. Bruh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Dude. So it's my day off. I'm walking back inside from the store with some frozen pizza and some beers. I brought my dog to the store to enjoy the weather. Yo, I hop out the car and my neighbour pops out on his balcony and goes, "You don't gonna pick that up?" They're American.
You're not gonna pick that up?
Y'all not gonna pick that up? Now he must have me confused for someone else, because no way he's coming at me like that with zero context. I'm like, did my dog poop? This mofo is like, yup, right there.
Yup,
Yup.
right there.
Guess what? No poop. He starts trying to scold me. I said, nah, there isn't any shit out here. Matter of fact, come outside and show me, Mr. Genius. Dude, this guy comes out the house like he's about to serve me, and instantly realizes there's no poo. He points to 10,000-year-old dinosaur poo in the rocks and is like, that? And I was like, stop playing with me, bro. You know that's an old ass poop. You were just wrong, admit it.
It's a dried up grey poo. Right.
It's like, you're wrong, stop. Tell me why this neighbour instantly switches to, you want an altercation.
Y'all want an altercation?
You want an altercation? Bromas has said it 6 times. By the way, I didn't say yes or no. I ain't falling for that. They just kept saying, show me the shit. You accused me of something on my day off and you're wasting my time. Where's the poop?
Harry, you ruined my day off.
Yeah. Where's the poop? He's got increasingly irate and noticed I set down my groceries. Hey man, I just locked in, and suddenly he switched to, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. And some dude, turns out he was on speakerphone, heard my tone shift and was like, it's not that serious. It was so cringe, bro. I'm ultimately walked back. He ultimately walked back in his house shouting, I'll report it next time. Next time what, moron? What's crazy about this whole interaction is, if he just admitted my dog didn't poop, I would have respected him. Like, hey man, fair enough. Don't want dog shitting on your apartment balcony lawn. Instead, he doubled down and tried to provoke me into an escalation. Neighbours from hell, try neighbours from the playground. What a crybaby.
I do think it's weird how some neighbours like get all territory and all that sort of things that just don't even concern them. Like, mind your business.
Listen, the whole dog shit thing, irritates me. It really does. Yeah. Like, there's an old girl literally today.
I know.
I was on the phone to you, and she was up there, and I'd come in to the grass area, and she'd gone that way and I had gone that way, so that we didn't cross paths, because she had her dog off the lead, and Hattie is a spaz when she comes across other dogs when she's on a lead. Anyways, she's gone this way round, I've gone this round. So I've ended up coming up behind her, and as I'm walking along, there is a fresh turd
Steaming.
right there.
Yeah.
And it was small enough to be her dog. So he's like, it was too small for my dog because she does whacking fucking monstrosities. Like
she's got the beast inside.
Honestly, you'd think she was a bigger dog if you just looked at her shit.
Nice.
It's out of control. But she left it.
Yeah.
And she scuttled off real fast.
I actually don't.
I hate people leaving dog shit.
Yeah, I don't understand why people do that. And, you know, some people like horses don't, but theirs is biodegradable. Dog shit is full of shit. Well, it is. That's why you ain't got to move it or nothing, because it's hay in it.
It's just hay.
It's biodegradable. Hay. It's compost. Yeah. Whereas dog shit has got bad shit in it. But yeah, no, I can't bear anyone. I never ever let Cookie shit anywhere and did not pick that up because it's gross. Unless it was liquid arse, then I'm sorry. Like, I did my best.
Yeah, do you know what? Hattie's had liquid butt once, and I actually went back, got a bottle of water, and came back and washed it away.
That's the best you can do.
That was the best I was going to be able to.
That's the best you can do, unless you're out there with like a fucking steam mop. Like, it's the best you can. It's the best you can do.
So top mark was just looking for trouble, lol. OP says dead ass, and then somebody else said, so how many fake poops did you buy on Amazon? Yeah. Just in case you can't find any, and put a link.
When you said dinosaur poo, at first I thought it was one of the fake poos, but it's not. It's a
proper fossilised poo.
Yeah,
that's been there for years.
Yeah, that's been there so long.
It was even an actual poo.
It could be a fox. I don't know. Do they have foxes in America?
No.
Yeah, it could be a raccoon's poo.
Raccoon.
Do you know? I saw someone doing a garden video the other day, and it got me thinking, because you know things get me think, and it said cleaning all the bird shit and the squirrel shit, and I thought, I don't think I've ever seen a squirrel shit.
I don't know what squirrel shit looks like.
That's now I want to know. Should we have a quick Google?
Did we Google it?
No, I actually didn't. SQU.
Someone said from the tile. I literally thought put down fake poop. But that made me think it'd be funny to toss them.
It's the same as rats. They're little pellets.
Oh, okay. No, well, they're bigger than rats.
All right, they're bigger pellets. But yeah, they're little, look.
Oh.
Like pellets.
I don't feel like I've really ever noticed that.
Now, I feel disappointed because I thought it'd be more like bird. Because they've got like a diet of nuts. So I thought they'd have more liquid arse. For real.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I visualised.
We'll leave
that
there.
Yes, I did visualise squirrel poo, if anyone's wondering. Yes, I did. Because I thought, I wonder what squirrel poo looks like.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, sorry. Are you ready?
No.
Was just attacked by my neighbour across the lot.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I live in an apartment village. Did you like that? Apartment village, as they call it here, with sidewalks and passing points at the entrance of each parking lot. I pull into the parking lot for my apartment, and right as I'm about to turn into my spot, this guy walks in front of me. I'm going slowly. I'm going slowly, so I brake no problem. But this guy stops because he realises his roommate / girlfriend is calling to him, trying to let him know that there is a car coming. I hear this because my window is down, and he stands there yelling back, "What?" over and over again. So I tap the horn really soft and fast and wave when he looks. He moves to the side. I pass and park. Thought it was all good. But when I get out of the car to get my time-sensitive groceries, he says, "Hey." I turn round, smile and wave. "Keep getting my groceries," he says. "In a hurry, huh?" And the lady he's with starts telling him to stop. He carries on being rude and insults me, all while his friend keeps telling him to stop. And eventually he screams, if he had hit me. At that point, I was pissed enough to mumble under my breath, it would have been your fault. Because where you were standing in the middle of the street, instead of using the cross point or sidewalks, he starts coming at me and screams, "What do you say?" You know how it goes, over and over. And his friend physically holding him back, yelling at him to stop. I close my car door, start walking away, and he starts screaming, "Do you want to die today?" What a fucking cocksucker.
Oh
Doesn't say that, I'm adding that. "You could die today." Breaks free from his friend and shoves me into the bushes, screaming that. His friend got him back again, and I get into my apartment. A couple of minutes later, they come by and he apologises by saying, I'm drunk, and the girls told me that I was in the wrong. I wanted them to leave, so I said, all right. What I want to do is call the office tomorrow and report him, maybe file assault charges, but he's obviously crazy, and I live here. I take care of my severely disabled mother. Even if the guy was evicted, it wouldn't be immediate, and to be honest, I'm already going to be freaked to leave my apartment for a while anyways, because he's always sitting outside on his apartment steps. I am not a strong person. I don't need to bring any more danger to myself or my mother. I needed to vent, and I'd like some advice. I'm sorry for the formatting and any typos missed. I'm on my mobile app. Go on.
Oh.
I know, I feel really sorry for him. I
He
feel
didn't
like
even do anything. Like,
he actually didn't do anything.
He didn't retaliate in any way.
No, he literally mumbled.
He waved
it would have
at
been your
him.
fault. Yeah, thinking, oh, hi.
Hey, neighbour.
Yeah. And he's like, do you want to die?
Like, just get my groceries.
I'm going to say no.
I wasn't planning on dying today.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
I think...
Thanks for the offer.
I think it's tricky because, like he says, he lives there. He's frightened. His mum's ill. I think he should write a written statement, put it in a envelope, ask his, because it's different there in America, ask his home association thing, apartment people, to hold it, not to open it until necessary. So it's like a documented scenario without having to do anything yet.
He's put it there. I mean, you can do that with the police.
Document without pressing charges.
Yes, you can.
Same in America.
I would assume so, but
right,
you're right. They have different.
If that is the case, you should
do that.
You should do that with both the apartment.
I'd like to record this so that it is written and that.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything, but if there is a future altercation, then you can see that there's a history of craziness from this lunatic.
Yeah, we do that here.
Yeah, so
if they actually can be bothered. Sorry,
top comment.
You're actually a decent copper, but.
Top comment says, you've been physically assaulted and have a death threat made against you. Regardless of whether he's apologised, I'd call the cops. It's not that straightforward. It's like you didn't read the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I think documenting it would be your best case scenario, because then it shows prior craziness and then you've got that.
Yeah, and equally against that person, there could be other members of the public in that space. Exactly.
That
have to sort of deal
just
with
by
that.
Just by speaking to them, you might realise that you're not the only ones. That have been like abused, targeted. By this person. Go on.
Yeah, I reckon possible other neighbours have made reports and stuff.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's sad, really, especially if he's frightened. But I get that. Like, you don't really know who you're living with.
No.
You really don't. Look at us, like, with our cars being stabbed and slashed. Who the fuck was doing that? When they know that me and Linda
I'm starting to wonder whether it's your neighbour with the car up your backside.
Maybe.
Why?
We had neighbours slashing and scratching our cars. and they all know down the street that we have children that go in those cars. So, you know what I mean? And since we had the camera, it's stopped. So it's someone that lives down the street.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm gutted that I'll never know, and that's what I'm saying. You don't know who you're living amongst.
No, you don't.
And before anyone thinks it, no, it wasn't my fault. I haven't actually done anything to any of my neighbours other than today when I laid my thing on there. But that was today. Go on.
How to shut down threats from a neighbour from hell, which is a little bit similar.
Poor bloke.
A new neighbour dropped off.
They dropped something off.
Dropped off dip a few weeks ago.
Nice.
And
dip,
I went, no.
Dip like chip dip. Dips for food. That's what I think you're talking about.
A few weeks ago, and I went to return the containers.
Yeah, there you go. I was right.
Is it? Yeah.
Dip. Yeah, you know, like you put like a hummus and all that sort of crap.
Oh, okay.
Dip.
Fine. Weird, but whatever. I was casually talking to the lady of the house when the male came running to the down, shoved me hard, and slammed the door.
What?
When he shoved me, I fell hard and injured my back very badly. My partner called the police and they came, took a report and were ready to take your neighbour off in cuffs for the night. I don't feel like they're talking. After thinking about it and remembering I have 6 months left on my lease, declined to file charges for now. Okay, so obviously you have that option in America too.
Fine.
The guy had the audacity to contact my partner only hours after cops left that night and threatened he would make HOA evict us.
Right.
Housing
Association, yeah.
My partner is an angel, calm and patient, and explained to neighbour from hell how close he was to spending the night in jail and still could. Neighbour from hell quickly
Stepped.
He wouldn't contact the house. Said he wouldn't contact the housing association or bother us again.
What the fuck? Why did he do that to her?
There literally is no explanation for that at all.
Does OP comment on people being like, what?
No. This one.
To recap.
So, this person said, well, you shut the neighbour from hell down by pressing charges and forwarding them to the house association before they can. The fact that they're new and pulling the house association card would have me talking to the houses association immediately, and I think this might be the first time I've ever advocated for that. Was there someone other than your wife who witnessed this? After thinking about it, and remembering I have 6 months left of my lease, declined to file charges for now. And she says, to recap, this man assaulted you, didn't get arrested, and then the person who got away with assaulting you contacted your significant other, threatening to make you homeless. I fail to see the logic in not pressing charges based on how long you have left in the community, and I am a big proponent of mercy. I don't know what that means.
Basically, they advocate for mercy. Yeah, don't be so harsh.
The neighbour from hell injured your back very badly, yes? This is something you presumably will be dealing with for a lot longer than 6 months. On top of which, you have no idea why this brand new neighbour just assaulted you for no reason, or if this is something he does to his wife. Even if they give him a pre-trial division and drop the charges, he should be forced to enroll in some type of anger management or mental health program. 6 months is a lot longer than you think to be dealing with this. If he generally hurts you very badly, then you need to attempt to press charges or get your housing association up to speed. And then they edited to add, and you should ask the police for a protective order based on the assault and immediate harassment. You should have to stay away from your partner and your home for the next 6 months. OP replied to this one with, no one else witnessed the shove, but the bruises and marks were all the police needed. The cops went and told them not to have further contact with me. I declined it to file charges, given I do have 6 months and I don't want things to escalate. I am renting, and the new neighbour bought the place in the gated community, so I don't know if that makes a difference. We share a wall though, unfortunately. I have been dealing with back problems for over a decade, and the injury has set me back a lot, but I can work from home when needed. I'm just afraid that he will bow from an assault charge easily and retaliate.
The most confusing part from me is she was taking back dishes that had obviously been given her by the wife for some dip, and the husband of this said woman, as she's talking to her at the front door giving the stuff back, just runs out and assaults her. It doesn't make any sense. He's either mentally ill, on some sort of type of drugs, or he thinks that hitting women is just like an appropriate thing to do. It's so confusing. And then threatens her with the home association, which again is so fucking strange.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. What a weird one.
Yeah.
What a weird one. But I know in America, like, if she press charges and sues and goes to the hospital and sues him for damages and medical bills, she's likely to win, because it's like a big thing there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest thing would be, I think if that had happened to me with a neighbour, I think I'd have to have them arrested, because it's such a fucking weird situation. I would need documented, arrested, because what a vicious attack came from nowhere is quite scary, babe, because that speaks like of mental instability in like what I think's happening. And I think, yeah, you're lucky you're getting out of there in 6 months, but if someone was staying around that, my god, you'd be terrified all the time.
Yeah, it'd be awful, wouldn't it?
But yeah, the home association, she should speak to the home association and give them the police report and say, this is what happened and I have no idea why. Because there'll be other women there. Right, so my last one, I've gone for this one. It was out of 2. I mean, I did find some really good ones. Okay. Condo upstairs neighbours insist on hardwood.
Oh, I see.
Okay. This ordeal has finally ended. Free at last. Oh, imagine I'm saying those words. I can now tell most of my story. Wife and I are renting, but now I've just got our own place with no shared walls and no home association, so there's party hat emoji, yeah? Wife and I moved into a condo in HCOL, somewhere in America, in South California. This place is a small but really nice coastal location, and everything we would need to have our own space and not have housemates to navigate with. The next 8 months would be very stressful and unpleasant, as the upstairs neighbours had installed hardwood floors years before, and when we toured the spot, it was quiet. Despite the home association having rules against hardwood flooring in upstairs units, the couple above us decided their luxury was worth more than the peace of other people. one day, as he was walking by my unit, I was responsible and calmly mentioned that when he's walking around, it shakes our downstairs units and fixtures, and said if he could find it in his heart to try and tread a bit more quieter, I would really appreciate that. He immediately declined the request. Oh, I'm losing the ability to talk. Request, and chalked it up to, it's loud here, we hear everybody. Fast forward 2 months, he frequently complained to the home association that my wife and I were smoking marijuana, that's what it says, inside our unit, and smoke was pouring out of the door and stinking up his unit. We never smoked inside ever, and it was permitted outside. So I decided enough is enough, and I began documenting his obtrusive noises of him walking and waking us. I submitted these complaints to the board, and on our CCR it states that two complaints, units with hardwood, are to be noise tested to see if their durable level is high enough to justify making them install carpets. Well, the upstairs neighbour immediately lawyered up, and now is a court battle with the board, and I'm not sure what their angle is, but they are likely to lose judgment. So here in the UK, it's not all places, but actually most places here in the UK, before we get on to what you're going to say, are the same. If you live in flats and that sort of thing, you're generally expected to have carpets and good installation between said carpets and your downstairs neighbour, because it is a fucking nightmare. You go first before I continue.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so basically when I moved into my flat that I live in now,
I really want hard flooring in my living room, but because of the shop underneath,
you need to check your buyer's lease as well. So, but when I moved into the flat where I am, they had hardwood flooring, so I put up with it for about 8 months. I mean, they're a different culture, which is fine, but their kids don't go to bed till really late. They run round, jump off. It got too much. It all came to blows. Long story short, we're great now. They had carpets. She recently brought and was like, I'm going to get hardwood flooring. So I was like, sweet, if you do that, then I'm going to have to get a lawyer, because in your buyer's lease, it also says, she said that the housing have said that she can have it. The lease says she can't. She promises she'll put good installation, have a company and put the installation. If they do, they come out and it works fine, I'm happy to live with that. If it disturbs me like it did before and I start going slowly mental again, then I will lawyer up. And luckily, we already have one. So, you know, I don't want it to come to that, but I also have to live in peace, and that's only fair.
Yeah.
And you can speak, you've been to mine and you know how noisy it is.
You know, I've heard.
Yeah, so fingers crossed we never come to that, but I can relate to this story very much, because although I get on very well with my neighbours and they're lovely people, sometimes you have to think about other people.
Yeah.
And I have 2 boys, as anyone who's regularly listening knows, and I lived in an upstairs flat for 15 years, and never not once did my neighbour come and knock on my door and say to me, oh my God, could you please keep the noise down? Because my children grew up knowing to have respect that we had downstairs neighbours. And it's as simple as that. Not because, I mean, I rented private, it never come to what's in my lease and all that, because it was simply, stop running around, it's not a playground, do not jump off my furniture, that's my, you know, it just, but it's fine. Listen, live how you want, but at the same time, if you do live in apartments, you have to think of other people.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. But on to the top comment, because it's not about me, but that story is so me. Glad you now have your independence from your home association and your obnoxious neighbours. And then someone said, go and smoke a doobie outside their door to celebrate. Great news, blah, blah, blah. But it will, OP did say, I'm trying to see if he says anything else. No. Basically, just, you know, it's really, if you are buying an upstairs place, you have to think, can I live here without hardwood flooring? If you can't, then maybe it's not the place for you. Because I know you're thinking about yourself, but you do have to think about other people. That is the price we pay for all living on top of each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone's underneath you, it does drive you mad. I can't tell you what it's like, especially when you live one way and they live another. So for example, my neighbours, they used to get up at like 6 and then go to bed at 12 at night, and that was constant running around. And by then I was just like a fucking mental case. And I'm not a mental case, I'm really chill, like you do you, as long as you're not impacting me. But by the end I was like, oh my god, like fucking like a nutter. I'm done for today. Go on. This is from My Neighbours now. I've just read the title.
I hate my neighbours. I hate my next door neighbours. I can't say I hate many people in my life, but I hate them. They turned my peaceful, beautiful home into a place where I don't feel safe and can never relax. They moved in around 2 years ago. I was kind to them when they moved in. I welcomed them into the neighbourhood and I tried to be helpful. This has probably made them think I was a pushover.
Excuse me.
Since they moved in, they have got louder and louder, slamming doors, playing loud music, running up and down the stairs, banging on the walls, etc., etc. At all hours through the day and night. They keep me up until the early hours and wake me up every morning. I live in a semi-detached house and never heard my previous neighbours. We still get on well and they are so sorry they sold their house to these people. If I make a fraction of a noise, they retaliate 100-fold, so I creep around my beloved house, spending as much time away from my home as possible. I'm an anxious wreck. I don't cook at home. I barely shower anymore. I tie my trips to the toilet when I know they are asleep. It's gotten that bad and I hate this version of myself. I didn't expect to be bullied at this stage in my life, but here I am. I can't take this anymore and put my house on the market. It sold within a few weeks and currently going through the process. I feel terrible that I'm landing more people into this craziness. The guilt is awful, but if I don't leave soon, I won't recognise myself anymore. Not really asking for advice as such, but wondered if anyone else had been in this position. How did you get over this guilt of selling? Did you leave a parting gift to your new
A note saying, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Should I do anything when I leave?
I mean, I can relate in the madness that you start to like fucking lose yourself. It's like you're going crazy, and every noise is like you're living like on your nerves. I can completely relate to that. And I think for her, like, the only option was to sell the property and not disclose it, because if she had disclosed it, she never would have sold it. You're gonna have to, I mean, the people that move in might be brave enough to say shut the fuck up and do something about it,
or they might be just as loud and they might get on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes it's like my comfort level is not somebody else's comfort level, and you know, that's okay. But in the time that you do live near it, you have to be respectful. It's as simple as that. But I don't think she said anything.
No, it doesn't sound like
No, which is fine. I get that. So it's really difficult for me. The turning point was
I don't know, maybe something was said, because obviously she's saying like the minute she made any sort of noise, then they retaliated. So.
Yeah. For me, I was in it'd been going on and on and on, and I think they'd had one of their 3-day parties, and then it just ended, but it was still so loud and all this stuff was going on, and I got in the bath and I was trying to relax, and then someone got in the fucking bath and it was bang, 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 and I'm laying in the bath and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So I get out the bath, I put my clothes on, I'm like dripping, I'm soaking wet. I go upstairs and I fucking bang on the door like a crazy person, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't take it anymore. Have you got hardwood flooring? All you do is, all the kids do all day is run round, bang, bang, bang all day. And she was really good at first. Like, she let me in, and then I could see they just had all this hardwood flooring everywhere. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to do something because I can't take it. And I was good for it. It was about 4 months, I think, but nothing changed. She said she put carpets down, this, that, and nothing changed. And then I went to the council. So, and then things went pretty quickly, but that is when it all kicked off and the police were called and everything, which is another story for another day.
That's another one.
But yeah, my point is, like, I can relate so much to not having peace at all any time. Do you know what I mean? And things are, touch wood, things are nice now. And so when she was like, I'm going to put the floor, I thought, sorry, that's a lie. Things are still very loud, but it's more tolerable than it was before. So instead of being a bitch and still complaining, I'm like, fine, like, I can live with that. And sometimes when they're having their parties and it goes on late, 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to put the telly on to 100 with earbuds in just to drown it out. So I just want people to understand what the noise is like.
Of noise.
Exactly. So, and the banging obviously still vibrates through you, but that helps, and then eventually it stops. I'm like just reliving it. But I put up with that compared to what it was before, and that should tell you what it was before compared to what it is now. And I don't say anything, but I think if it ever got back there and I start looking crazy and crazier, you'll know why. So, but yeah, I understand why she's moved. There's nothing she can do. The next person's either going to tolerate it or it's going to be even worse. Simple, isn't it? I know, it's so bad,
just
isn't
seeing
it?
if she's like
written back
to any of them. But
I do feel for her though. I understand the guilt. Even I was like that. I was like, I got to get out of here. And then I thought, oh my God, the next person. And then do you know what I thought? So we have something called council property here in the UK after my husband's stroke, and we were 123 in the list. Do you know what I started to wonder? I wonder if when people come to view the property, because it's not a bad property, were they in? And they heard and were like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because I can't think, unless they looked at the garden and thought that's unmanageable, but other than those two things, I can't see why someone would say no. So I said that to Linda the other day. I wonder if they were in and they were like, fuck that.
But how do you know?
Yeah.
So she's only replied to this one. There was quite a lot of response to it, but this one says that guilt is unreasonable and out of place. Do you believe you should stay forever so no one else has to deal with these neighbours?
It's true.
Be kind to yourself, enjoy your new home. And she says, thank you. I made sure that I sold to a couple and would never have sold to a single person or an elderly. Hopefully with a man there, they will not be the same.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do you know, once I was going so mental, I Googled how to make yourself deaf. I thought about puncturing my eardrums. I was fucking losing the plot.
She replied to this one as well. She just couldn't fight it. Would have taken years and probably made things worse for her in the long run. After reading through this sub, I've realised that there isn't much the authorities will do about this sort of thing either. So,
do you know, not here in the UK anymore either.
It's mental torture rather than violence, and it's just brushed off.
Yeah,
she's right.
Bad, you know.
Really bad. Guys, be good neighbours.
Yeah.
Be kind to each other. The world's a hard place as it is. Do we really want to go home to our little sanctuaries of safeness and upset the people around us. Why?
I don't know. I think the thing is as well, I think you as an upstairs neighbour or somebody that isn't realising how noisy you're being.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you're told, it's not that we're getting at you, it's not like a disrespectful thing to say that your life is impacting on my life. It's not. People are automatically like defences up, and that is, for me personally, not what I meant at all. I'm telling you what's happening from my point of view, and because your floor is my ceiling and you're going to get the it's fucking weird. I'm telling you that running around, jumping off and doing this, that and the other is driving me mental. It's not.
For me here, my floor is the shop's ceiling. So during the week we're not in during the day.
You're at work and
so
that,
basically we don't really conflict with each other apart
but
from
your
the weekend.
kids aren't jumping off furniture and stuff.
No, but they are on their VRs and they do get overexcited and they do shout at it. And I do know my neighbours next, like on either side, can hear them, because I can hear them. When they're being louder, I can hear them, so I know they can hear us. So that's why, like, they're not allowed to go on it after a certain time and stuff like that. I do try and be
it's also about having a cut off of when things are going to, so then everybody around you can chill out and all that. I also think, you know, the way that the old buildings, like now, a lot of them, like my friend's daughters, 2 of them, they've like just done to part rent, part buy, and they've got the parquet flooring, but that is full installation all the way through until, so they've all got the parquet. So their neighbours, they can't hear anything. And the way the old buildings were made, especially here in the UK, they're like concrete blocks. So everything is pinging off of everything. And it's really difficult to insulate places like that. So I don't entirely blame them. I don't blame them at all. That's their lifestyle. What I'm saying is, had things been put in place and made better, or even now to come in and sort out that situation, people wouldn't be annoyed with each other, would they? So much, do you know what I mean? But you know, it's definitely my time to be tortured, but it won't be forever. I start plumbing soon. I'm going to buy a mansion in 5 acres with no one around me. Not even the kids.
Not even the kids.
Yeah, not even the kids. They're not kids. I call them kids. They're barely kids. They are my kids, but they are getting on adults. Right, after my rant.
Right. Be good to each other, guys.
She's making me get up again. Oh my God. Oh my Christ.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Bye. And if you want more rants. Yeah, or
scribble poo.
Yeah, reach out to me at www.doshutthefuckup.co.uk. No, me to shut the fuck up.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.
Oh, what a day.
What a day. Like, seriously, the pain, man.